everyone, welcome back. We completed the double page spread C collage, and it's exactly how I wanted it. I like to cover my whole page. I don't like to leave white spaces. This is how I tend to like to work. And also I don't like to add too much text. The idea with the pages is really to show off different techniques, use different papers, just have an absolute ball throwing things at the page. And I've got sort of just a few words that sort of sum up love the sea. These pages were made following a holiday to Egypt, where we were primarily swimming and snorkeling. Now I could have covered the whole page with lots of colourful fish, but actually I wanted to just really stay with the blue theme, the blue, the white, the glitter. I was going for that sort of coordinated look with obviously a bit of sand at the bottom to sort of remind us that we are in the ocean. It was a beautiful holiday. I saw some absolutely amazing things. A beautiful eagle ray actually, which was really special. I've got quite a nice bit of video to do with that. And I'm sure that's going to inspire me a bit more what I saw on this holiday. Certainly the scenery of Sharm el Sheikh, which is a part of Egypt, which is really very beautiful. If very barren, I suppose, but under the water is where all the colours and everything beautiful lives under the sea. And so that was the idea behind this page. I like my pages to tell a story. So anyway, having said all this is complete now for me. I'll be moving on to the next one. I'm not sure where that's going to go yet. I've got a few ideas, but I wanted to show you always have scraps left over. When I did the nature collage video, I had scraps left over there, and I made some tags, and I made a few of these little cards. I'm just going to grab the tags to remind. If you're interested in seeing how these were done, then you can check back one of the earlier videos. But I don't have a great deal of uses for tags, so I do tend to like to make these little playing card pieces instead, because they give me the opportunity to be really creative and to sort of play with different ideas in a very small format, so I can do them fairly quickly. Okay, so what do we do with the scraps this time? Well, again, I made some more of these little cards. I got them in these plastic wallets, keeps them nice and clean. I'm just going to lay them out for you. These ones here were all done with the same sort of collage technique, leaving the leftover pieces, taking them and just sticking them onto a piece of card. And so you're getting exactly the same sorts of techniques perhaps that you had before, but just in a smaller format. And that gives the opportunity to sort of add some quotes, some ideas, some thoughts. I find these like a little inspiration sometimes when I come in and I can flick through this box, and it just gives me peps me up, I suppose. I'm feeling perhaps a bit down or a bit sort of under the weather, then I can read some of these quotes, and they kind of help me a bit, I suppose. So this first one, just a simple using the collage technique again with just a simple quote. This one again with a quote. Because these were so complex, I suppose, or busy, then I wanted to just keep it very simple what was on the card. And again, the same for this one. But this one I've added some waves in the background through just layering up torn paper, again from my scraps. And this one I just added a couple of those wooden shapes, coloured again with the distress inks. And I also added some perfect pearls to give them a little shimmer. You probably can't see that through there. And some dots as well with the Posca pen, just to sort of make them stand out a little bit. So that's those ones. These ones a little bit more, well, this one wasn't more complex really, because again I just worked, this was a very plain background, and I just wanted to add a little fish that I had left over from making my birthday card for my husband, with which I'll show you actually next time, because I don't have it here to hand. But this was just a air dry clay, coloured, painted with a chalk paint, and I've just sort of added a few little embellishments there to this one. I think probably this wavy bit should have been at the top really, but it doesn't matter. It was just, I'm trying to use all my scraps. I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of ribbons, I have a lot of beads, I have a lot of trims, and I am really trying hard, and these kind of projects give the ideal opportunity to do that. Okay, and this last one here is a little bit more work to it. This was basically some kitchen foil from the house, which I added some alcohol inks to in a sort of random pattern, and then I just die cut those out. I've got some tiny die cutters, metal die cut, flat ones, you know, the sort of low profile ones, all of different fish. So I sort of went ahead with that, and I thought it was a lovely effect actually, because each of the fish is different, you know, you've got a different pattern going on, and it's quite pretty. And then I stamped in the background, that's a Stampin' Up! Dots type stamp, just to sort of indicate or sort of suggest bubbles, a little bit of glitter stickles, glitter glue as well. And I'm really happy with that one. It didn't need a sentiment. Right, so that's those. I did 6 of those. So what I'll do is I'll pick out my favourite one, perhaps. The one probably that's got the best sentiment, or the one that speaks to me the most. And I will pop that in my box of tricks here to add to, you know, with all the others. And then I'll keep the others somewhere else. These are sort of examples. And I don't want too many of the same thing in there. Okay, now this was fun. Still had some scraps left over to use up, and often I will just stick them onto a piece of card, and then I will just have a piece of card which I can then cut into little pieces and use in various projects, perhaps card projects, whatever I've got to do really, to create collage papers, more complex collage papers that I can then use on something else. But I saw this thing about sticking them to packing tape or to masking tape, just sticking them all over, and I thought I'm going to have a go with this. I have done something similar to this before, but I wanted to really stretch this technique a bit. So I'm using here this brown packing tape, and I quite like this because you don't have to do a lot to it. Actually, you can just stamp on it and stuff. It's got that sort of aged appearance as well, which works in quite a lot of projects. It's also nice and wide, so I just basically stretched it out. I can't actually show you because I didn't take any video of actually making it, but I was sticking the strips all over it basically, and then you can trim off down the edges to make it sort of back into a straight. I'm just going to show you the finished item because I think it explains. And this was it, and I'm so pleased with this. You can see it's just the packing tape, or the brown parcel tape if you like, and I have layered up all my pieces. But I thought, let's bling, let's do some bling. And I went in there and I have added, what have I added? Some glitter, some gold leaf here as well, this kind of thing. But the funniest thing is I thought, I know, as I'm in the mood or in the market to sort of use up things that have been in my store cupboard for absolutely ages, that is exactly what I've done. But I had fun and games with this, I can tell you. What happened was, because I got no patience, I told you I had no patience, this was still wet because I was covering it with the you know, the glue. Actually I used the gloss one on this one, so it was all wet, and I thought, hey ho, I'm going to go in, I'm going in now, I'm going in with my glossy accents, and I'm going to dab here, there, and I'm going to add, I don't know if you can see those beads, tiny ball bearing type beads. I've had these in my stash for absolutely ages, maybe 15, maybe 20 years. I don't know what to do with them. I just had them. And I thought, they're very nice, I'll buy those, but I've never really used them. So I thought this would be perfect on here. So what happened is I was in there and I thought, okay, I'm just going to throw it on here. It's just going to stick to where I've put the glue. Oh no, this stuff went everywhere. You can see it started to stick to everything. So then I'm trying to brush some of it off because I didn't have patience to let it dry first. These balls went everywhere. They're literally in my hair. They're all over the bench top here. They were all over the floor. They are everywhere. I have been brushing like this. I've been using the sticky roller to try and pick them up. I do not know what to do because there is no way I'm going to be able to pick all these up. They are literally everywhere. I'm going to be finding these things for the rest of my life. I am going to be buried with these in my clothing. That is what's happened. So big warning with that. Wait for it to dry. You can see I've collected some in the tray here, but they are under my feet. They're crunching. They were in my salad for lunch. So yeah, very nice. Quite pleased with the effect, but oh my goodness, stress. So anyway, a final coating of some, what did I do? I actually used a spray fixative on the top of that, but I'm really happy with it. I really like it, and I'm probably going to make more of these as we go through doing projects, and I've got bits left over. And actually, in a way, I would like to have used this in the collage spread itself. So that was a bit of a miss, but anyway. So that's enough for today. Just thought I would show you a few things which I have done. Let's put them all back for you. And now we're going to move on. I think what's going to happen next, these videos have been kind of happening as a sort of series, that we might just go on and start, I don't know, maybe look at some of the background papers, creating some of those, so maybe some background techniques. I might do another collage, but it takes me a while to work up to it and I need to be inspired. Also thinking of doing some gel plate printing, more trying to capture something of the scenery of Egypt. So that could be fun. But anyway, please join me. I'm really getting into this now. I'm enjoying it. The whole point of all this is to use old supplies that you might have. You might have some of these things too. My condolences if you actually own a pot of this. Good luck. But speak soon. Okay, have a great day. Bye.